Good morning everybody, hello and welcome. This is Taz from the Active Wellbeing Society's Big Run project. I'm here at the EcoPark Small Heath, Birmingham today for a lovely sensory walk, and it's going to be about my guest today more than about me, so I'm just the cameraman today. I'm going to be focusing the attention to our guests Anisha and Marcus Balm, who you already know from Active Communities. So let's turn around and let's show you where we are. And introduce yourself.
Hi, yeah. So I'm Anisha and I'm a trainee with the Birmingham Black Country Wildlife Trust. We're at my placement here at EcoPark in Small Heath, which is basically the hub of all things education that we do. It's quite a small site, as you're going to see when we go around, but it's packed full of interesting things for you to see.
And thank you for arranging this today as well, on behalf of the Wildlife Trust, the Birmingham Black Country Wildlife Trust, in partnership with the Active Wellbeing Society. So really grateful and thank you. And our second guest and host.
Hello, how you doing? It's Marcus I'm Marcus from Active Communities, yeah, I'm looking forward to going around the EcoPark. I've been looking forward to coming here for quite some time, so I'm pleased after a long break being able to come out and the sun's come out, which is fantastic. So yeah, really looking forward to this.
Brilliant. So back to me, just to say, if anybody's watching, please do say hello in the comments here, and also share any questions or comments in the comment section. Let's try and make it interactive as possible, and it's easy to share. There's a share button on the bottom left hand side. Just hit share and that will go on to all your contacts on Facebook. We have tagged in the organizations as well, so if there's anyone that you'd like to tag them in now, and they can watch the live video, or you can watch it on demand later when the video finishes, because we're monitoring the comments and getting back to you with any answers that you've asked from us. So let's go on and let's enjoy this lovely walk. So we've had a lovely day today. We've got the weather for it, Anisha. So let's start. I'm going to track our walk as well, so I'll put my watch on and off we go. So what's the first thing that we're going to talk about?
So, I mean, we're not even out of the car park area at the minute, and you can already see that we've got such a variety of plants popping up.
Just show that down here, guys. So
Lemon balm.
Lemon balm here. If you smell
give it a
that,
good old
Marcus,
crush.
give it a crush.
Yeah.
And do you have that sense?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, so
yeah,
activating his sense already. Yeah, his smell has been activated. The sight's been activated because we've all got these wonderful colours. And look behind Anisha there, wow. And the wildlife, the birds just right on cue there, they're flying over. So yeah, we haven't left the car park and we've just seen this wonderful sight.
So we've got some beautiful red campion popping up here.
And this is some hazel. It looks like it's been coppiced.
That's it, yeah.
Do you do that?
Coppicing on site.
Fantastic. So what do you use the hazel for? Do you know?
We use it in some of our woodworks. It's great for like kind of canes or twisting it, weaving it for things. So
Yeah, I think it's one of the most useful sort of woods, really, isn't it? We've a woodcraft, we like making bow and arrows with it.
oh,
Really good for bows. It's very flexible. It's the traditional wood they would use for making a bow.
that's
If
it.
anyone's interested in making one.
It's been very well historically used for coppicing. So yeah, we've got some woodruff here, which is another lovely native
Woodruff,
plant.
yeah.
Yep.
A native plant.
So
And what was this called again?
red campion.
Red campion. So those that don't know, like me, we're learning today.
That's it.
So it's all about learning and walking and noticing, stopping and appreciating what's on our doorstep here.
Sometimes fantastic coming through now as well, isn't it?
So hello and welcome to our viewers. Hi Ken, hi Michelle. Michelle thought, what are you doing with the centre of the earth now? Are you still using it as an office after I revamped it for you, as I'd like to use the space again? We can get back to you, Michelle, on that, because I'm not in touch with Jacob or anyone from that site, but we can get back in touch with you.
It's been used as an office, and I think it's, you know, as every site with lockdown, it's about getting it up and running again, but it's in the forefront. So
Thank you, Michelle, for your question, and yeah, stay connected and we'll let you know what's happening with that site. Keep watching and enjoy.
So here's our toilets, and the reason I'm telling you about our toilets is because we have a natural filtration system. So the waste water goes into this reed bed here, where it's filtered, and it's eventually ends up in the end pond, but at that point it's clean water.
So that's filtration system that's in place. There's a bit more information about it here.
So it's our recycling system.
So if you can make out and have a read of that, I'm just going to put the video here just for a second, and after this video has finished airing, people can pause the video here and have a good read of this as well, and learn about this filtration system that's in place here at the EcoPark, Birmingham. And this is a lovely view behind you. So what's this space used for here, Anisha?
So this is primarily used for our school groups. As you can see, we've got the lovely picnic benches where we can take them to come and have their lunch, and it's like a nice open space. So we've got, again, loads of wildflowers here, and it's kind of a safe spot for them where, you know, you can kind of see what they're up to. So yeah, and we do a lot of, we've got our 2 ponds here, which we do pond dipping with.
Brilliant. So everyone loves a bit of pond dipping, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So what a great space. You've got 2 ponds here, and I mean, we're going to do a little bit of a sample pond dipping now for you, just to show you how easy it is, but to do it in a controlled way when you're out here on a site like this. Yep. So any children near water need to be supervised.
Tub off with water. So again, pond dipping is a great activity that we do with groups, because there's so much that
sorry, I'm on this side.
there's so much that you can discuss with it, so it can be applied to a lot of different, particularly in science. So you can discuss food chains, life cycles, and it's just like a great easy way for children to engage with nature. So I'm just going to scoop some water, and as you can see,
Oh, there you go, straight up, 1 scoop.
Didn't take much effort. It's absolutely full of tadpoles.
And let's get in close now.
Oh, lovely. Fat, healthy tadpoles ready to transform any day now. Start to.
So I'm going to have another scoop with the net just to see what else,
Okay.
if anything.
We'll put the tadpoles down there and we'll grab the net. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, any help that you can offer them, I'm sure they'll be grateful. So thank you for that. Let's see what we find in the net.
Oh.
Anything interesting come out?
More tadpoles.
Oh, lots more tadpoles. Wow.
That just kind of shows you how full the pond is.
There's a couple of smaller things the tadpoles might be eating up as well in there.
Yeah, they can see them.
We've got like a water shrimp. There's a few there.
Yeah, there's a water shrimps quite dotted around it there.
Kind of beetle.
Oh yeah, right in the middle. Yeah. Underneath there, what's that?
There's a beetle, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, there's
kind
And
of
down. Yep, down there.
yeah. Kind of nymph larvae of some insect. So when we bring schools down here, we'll have like an identification sheet which they can tick off things that they see. You saw the guides, the Field Study Council's guides, which has a lot of information about the species and relates it to the life cycle. So it's a really good educational tool. And also we use it for our own benefit as well, because we'll get them to write kind of list of things that they see, which we'll keep for our own records to know what we've got on site, which is really helpful for us.
great
So
stuff.
I'm just going to pop these back.
This is obviously a really well maintained habitat.
Yes.
But if you were to go into a river with a net and lift up a rock and shake it a little bit, you'd probably find some similar things there. Maybe not so many tadpoles.
Yeah, but you
But,
find a lot of invertebrates, which are the basis of the food chain.
So Nisha's putting the tadpoles back, and we've got a school group coming, so we'll keep
Got some kind of leech there. As
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's a nice one. Ooh.
Big juicy one.
Yeah, I'm not keen on leeches. I don't know. There's something about them I just feel a little uncomfortable
Make your
about.
skin crawl a little bit.
There aren't many things I
Yeah.
wouldn't be happy to pick up, but I wouldn't be able to pick that up.
Try and get him off in a second.
And just the habitats, actually, just to explain, I mean, there's lots of different habitats here. We're going back to the reeds. I mean, what sort of things might you see in the reeds?
So there'll be like nesting birds that would use that because it's a really good source of shelter, and lots of invertebrates that would be hiding in the sheltered area. So it's a really great habitat.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this cranesbill to pop out. It's finally blooming. Very pretty flower.
What's it called?
A cranesbill.
Cranesbill.
It's in the geranium family.
Yeah. A lot of geranium flowering now, isn't there?
Yeah,
in
that's
gardens and in the wild as well.
Come at the perfect time.
Yeah.
The second pond there as well there, and a lovely bench to sit and a lovely view of the field there. So, you know, when you come, you've got plenty of nice spots here that you could just sit, use for your well-being. And I'm loving the walk so far. How are you guys getting on? Are you enjoying it? And thanks for the comment there from the Wildlife Trust back replying to Michelle. Thank you very much. Bird boxes as well. So what do you see around here? Which type of birds have you seen?
So we've got a few very friendly robins that often like to see what work we're doing to see if they can pinch a worm off us. We've got our blue tits that are nesting in the box at the front, and further on down we've got great tits nesting, and yeah, we've got long-tailed tits as well that I've seen hanging around. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more, but that's what I've seen.
That's great. And then this is a bug hotel. For those who don't know what a bug hotel is, there's a little bug hotel here, and you can find lots of different things in the bug hotels as well. So it's a nice little buzz hotspot, as it says there.
They're a nice thing to make as well. Very easy, bundle together some branches and twigs. You can make it as large as you like, can't you?
Yeah, that's it. Great engagement tool. You know, a discussion point to talk to children about how they can help wildlife, even at home.
Yeah.
So these are skills that they can take with them.
Because of course insects are very important in the life cycle, aren't they? Even if you're not too keen on insects, it's very important to have them around, isn't it?
I mean, without pollinators, none of these beautiful flowers that you can see here, we've got buttercups, they wouldn't be here.
So Pablo's looks beautiful there. Absolutely, Pablo. It's my first time visiting, and I'm so impressed with the beauty of this place. So keep watching and keep enjoying, and maybe you can come out and visit this site yourselves, and we'll let you know how volunteer groups can get in contact and come down and be part of some conservation work here. Yeah.
So as you can see, a lot of the site, I mean, over lockdown, as with everywhere, it was kind of, a lot of the staff was furloughed, so it's kind of been left. And a lot of work that we're doing at the moment is trying to get this site in usable condition, and get it up and running as much as can. So we're just starting to get volunteer groups back in, and all help's needed.
Yeah, all hands on deck, that's what we want. So like, we'll let you know how you can get in contact with the Wildlife Trust here at Birmingham Black Country Wildlife Trust, and see if you've got a volunteer group that might want to come and do some work around the site.
Do you make hurdles and things as well? I mean, is there things to sort of
Not currently, we're not, but I'd imagine that we're trying to get that up and running, as with our woodworking area. So this is kind of our coppicing. I mean, there's a sign over here.
So coppicing has been done here, and there's an example of it there.
Hazel coppice area. And again, it's just a really nice example.
That's a good. That's just been cut. How long ago was that? Two weeks ago or something?
I'm not sure, but it wouldn't have been long ago, as you can see. But they're usually done on like a 7-year rotation, and then the wood's used for all different kinds of reasons. But it's a great skill to kind of, if we've got a group in, it's a great skill to teach them as to how to coppice, why we coppice, and that kind of thing. So it's kind of doing these things that ignite a kind of passion for nature and our wild spaces. You know, some of the groups that we have in, they've never done anything like this before, so it's a really good opportunity for them. And as I mentioned, this is our kind of education hub, so we do a lot with education. We have school groups come over, like school trips, we do activities with them, we do den building, pond dipping, and also we do some courses. So we currently doing a level 1 course for tool use, And it's just really good opportunity to kind of teach the children or the young adults that this is an option. Like, you know, if they struggle in school academically, but they can use their hands, and it's kind of great confidence builder for them. So that's something that we offer.
Fantastic. Now what's this space here, just here, because we've got some
So
stones
this is
down here.
our stone area. So this again is just like a really nice area. We've got kids in that we can all sit around in a circle, and it's kind of like a boundary for them, and we can kind of keep them in one spot without them feeling restricted. So yeah.
That's a great little circle and space here, and for any children's group to come and visit, and adults as well. And a little mini Stonehenge with the stones all placed around in a circle.
So in that box over there is where we had great tits nest in.
Okay, yeah, so just behind, can you see the bird box? Can you spot it there? Can you point at it, Anisha? Just there. There it is, and I'll see if I can zoom into it.
You might actually be able to hear them.
There you go. We don't want to get too close if they're in there, but that's the bird box that we're referring to.
This is a great place as the wind's blowing through the leaves. You get a lovely noise, don't you, around in here?
Yeah, I think that's a good point there, Marcus. Let's go quiet. I know we've got the school children, so you'll be hearing faint noises from the background. But let's see what bird noises we pick up and the sound of the wind through the trees.
I think it's a lovely time of year at the moment, with some of the trees are in flower, and some of them are just starting to bud, and others like this cherry here, you can see there's some the flowers have gone, and you can see the wild cherries are just starting to form, and you get the cones in the pines. Everything seems to be happening on the branches at the same time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And like I say, you've come at the perfect time, because I mean, every time I come here, this site looks completely different. Adds to the charm of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm still learning so much about it and finding new things. So
Yeah, there's the pines that mentioned earlier as well. That
the larch tree.
the larch tree, yeah. There's a few examples closer up.
I think the great thing about this site is as well, it's in such an urban area. I mean, the main road is very busy, just at the front, but it's eerily quiet. I mean, I know we've got the school next door, but you can't really hear much traffic, which I think all the trees and things kind of buffer out the sound. So it is really nice for such an urban area.
Yeah. We forgot to mention we're on Hobmore Road, which is a busy road.
Yeah.
We're just off the Hobmore Road. We're behind the Eden Girls School site. It's a wonderful site. It's hidden away. It's a hidden gem, a truly hidden gem. So we're really amazed to see how quiet it is here, and you're so close to the housing and the urban area.
Yeah. So we've mentioned that we've walked through our meadow area where the benches were, and where we did some pond dipping. So now we're going to go towards our wetland area. So we have our the largest of our ponds over here.
Okay, let's go and see the wetlands. So it's like different zones, you know, like different areas. Like the children are used to different areas, different zones, and it's nice to see all the habitats in such a small space here, which is great.
Exactly. And amongst ourselves, we call it our sample site, because it's got a little sample of everything, which is a great talking point if we've got kids over, or anyone over really, and just discuss these habitats.
Yeah.
And actually for them to be able to see what it would look like.
Yeah. So what was this that you said earlier about the plant here?
So
Let's show the colour of this one. It's quite unusual, isn't it?
So this is Variegated Archangel. We have allotments, as you can see, just over the back there.
Just through the fence there, you can see there's allotment space behind. So we're very close.
Just missed him.
There's a blue tip.
Up there. I don't know if you pick it up on
Oh yeah. There's a Bluetooth that just gone off camera now, but maybe it'll pop back later. Oh, there it is. Yeah, good spot there, Nisha. Very keen eye there.
So yeah, so often we get plants that aren't native that end up here. It's partly because of the allotments and partly because of the past use of the site. We don't really know 100% what it's been used for throughout history. So you do get random non-native things popping up, but it's a great talking point for kids, and again, as long as it's got a flower and pollen, bees and insects love it. So we've got a green shield bug here. Yeah, so this is Variegated Archangel, and it's not a native plant, and as you can see we have a lot of it. I mean, it's kind of gone a bit mad over this area, but something in part of our plans that we're going to deal with. So.
Great. So just again, that green bug, that shield bug there, can you see it? Just there, beautiful, isn't it? There we go. Pablo, yes, really lovely to hear the birds, the breeze combined with the children in the background, a real urban oasis. Absolutely, that's what Anisha was just summarising there. It is a magnificent space.
Anisha,
Yeah.
I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit about the sort of things the wildlife does across Birmingham? Because I've come across you in different places, you know, as an organisation. What sort of things are you doing?
So we do a lot of our kind of role is to engage the public with wild spaces and kind of put people at the forefront of nature and involve them as much as we can. So we're going to schools. So we've got up and running at the moment is nature friendly schools. So it's a couple of members of staff go to designated schools and kind of implement some of features for nature. So in a bit we'll go up to our woodworking area, but we're kind of preparing wood features to go, so like a natural kind of border for in schools, some ponds, that kind of thing, so that the children can use it. And it's, you know, we've got limited resources in terms of people coming here, but if we put things in place at their schools, then it's kind of more sustainable, and it will reach a greater number of children. So that's kind of, and also by aiding the teachers to help them keep the sites up and running, so it's less input from us. So that's one of the things that we're doing at the moment. On Fridays we have Nature Tots, which is a group of like toddlers that come to the site. I think it's fully booked now, but you can have a look. And they come with their parents and kind of just have a look around the site and get involved in bug hunts, that kind of thing. And that's kind of at the forefront of the work that we do. So it's all about engaging the public.
Yeah, and you much like what we do with the active communities, you're doing with rather than doing to. So you're asking for their opinions of what they would like to do here, and then bringing that to life, isn't it? Yeah,
and kind of involving the local community to come and volunteer on site. You know, we've got a lot of work to do, not just on this site, but you know, people have their local site. So there's mostly Bark as well, that have a great volunteer group, and it's kind of looking at aiding people and equipping people to learn how to look after the site. So it's really important for us.
Brilliant. So that's fantastic work, and good question there, Marcus. And what's this there? So this is an example of things that you see down at the Moseley Bog. So what is that there?
It's a reed.
It's a big reed, yeah. In the Moseley Bog, there's loads of these around. So you can see them, and where I do some running over at Tritterford as well, you can walk around and see these as well. So they're very tall reeds that are growing here.
I think it's a bulrush, isn't it? But it's gone over by the looks of it.
You're probably right.
It's popped. They're amazing things to grow. I think they're called hot dog plants by some people because of the way what they look like a little hot dog on a stick. And actually you can grab hold of them and they puff out at the right moment. These ones are not quite, these ones are last year's, I think, on here. But they are really fun plants to play with, actually.
Yeah.
This is our biggest
Biggest
pond that we have on site, and it flows right under this bridge.
Yeah, let me get the bridge from the back so viewers can see the beauty of this wooden bridge here, and look how wonderful it looks here.
Again, it's just a nice spot to stop and have a listen, see what you can see. We've quite often seen a fox loitering around this area, so that's quite exciting. Yeah, so it's. I mean, we're not currently doing pond dipping in this pond, but it is something in a future date that we want to do. But you know, if you just stand here, you wouldn't think you're in the middle of a busy urban area.
In small Heath,
exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And I'll just show you the 360 from here now. So that's the other side of the pond. Just keep looking out, maybe you'll notice something, those who are watching live, that we haven't seen. So put it into the comments if you notice something or you hear something. Maybe you hear the sound of a woodpecker, if there's a woodpecker here. Oh yeah, the bluebells. Yes, Marcus can explain what a native bluebell looks like and how to look out for them.
Alright, well I think this one is a native one. They all tend to lean over in one direction. If you look inside, it's pure white. The stamen inside are pure white. And I think probably the best indicator is obviously that they're blue, but if you give them a little smell, they have a scent, a really nice scent. Do you want to have a little look, see if you can...
Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah.
And then see if you can smell.
I think it has a bit of a scent, which the Spanish ones, non-native, don't have, which they're lovely as well, aren't they? Even the Spanish ones are very nice. But it's important that there are areas where the native bluebells will thrive. Yeah. Do you want to explain why is it so important the native varieties are?
So, as with any of our native plants, our insects, our pollinators that we have here would have specifically kind of evolved alongside it. So they have that kind of symbiotic relationship. And I think when you introduce non-native, they can kind of outcompete our native plants. As you saw over there with the Variegated Archangel, once planted, or you know, if someone's dumped garden waste with bulbs or seeds in it, it can just take over and, you know, stop our native plants from growing, which can have impacts on our insect and pollinator species.
So it's really important to have the native species here.
Yeah,
for
especially in your own gardens as well. It's a great little thing to do to kind of plant some native bulbs, and you're just giving our native pollinators a helping hand. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Marcus, as well for the questions. Let's go. I'll follow you guys.
Particularly as well, I'll just say, with in terms of native plants, our butterfly species, so a lot of our butterfly species, each species will have like a specific plant that their larvae will eat. So larvae is the caterpillar. So the butterfly will lay its eggs on, say if it's a peacock butterfly, they're like nettles. So they'll lay their eggs on the nettles for the caterpillars to eat once they hatch. So it's important to have these native plants for the butterfly species to thrive. So that's another important reason to plant native plants.
Yeah.
Just seen a couple of butterflies over there actually. Also, I just thought it's worth pointing out this is coppice willow.
Yeah.
And this is more typically the sort of willow you'll find along the riverbank, with a yellowish stem.
Yeah.
But it looks like you've got 2 or 3 different varieties here, grown. I mean, if you're doing basket weaving, you can get red varieties and you get green varieties, and you can mix them up to make different colours, whatever sculpture you're doing. But this is well maintained. You get these lovely long rods growing because it's been cut every 2 or 3 years. I guess these ones have been something like that.
So that we went to the Deersley Woods, which is part of the Birmingham Black Country site. Saw lots of butterflies last year through the speckled light, through the light that shines through. So is this a kind of spot where you might find a few more butterflies?
Yeah, so I see a lot of speckled wood butterflies, obviously because we've got our little woodland area, and they like those conditions. I think orange tip butterflies have been seen here, and then we get the more common peacock and tortoiseshell. So it is a good spot. I mean, our weather hasn't been the greatest.
No, it hasn't.
And it seems like every time I'm here it's raining. But yeah, that's to look forward to.
There was one behind you a little while ago. I'll keep an eye.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the
They are
butterflies.
about.
Yeah, especially it's warming up a bit today, so
Yeah.
if we carry on here, to take us into our woodland area.
Oh, there was one just there behind us. It's just gone. There it is. It's there. It is. There
They're speckled. I think there's a speckled.
There's a speckled one
Yeah.
there. Ah, perfect.
Oh, perfect timing,
Beautiful.
isn't it? He's waiting very patiently for you there, Taz.
So those who know me, I did not set that up. Okay, it is just natural, and that's what you see. That's what you love about this place. So although you might think that I have brought this in, I haven't, seriously. So what a beautiful little specimen there.
I can't believe he sat so still for you. That's
Oh,
fantastic.
brilliant! We've got it! Yay! I'll pay you later.
Speckled wood is definitely the most abundant butterfly that I've seen here.
Yeah.
So, good to see. Catching on camera.
So into the woodland area now, and what's this spot again? This
So
building?
this is like an old bird watching hut,
Oh, great!
which we're kind of keen to get up and running again because it's a nice spot. If, you know, some people want to just come and take time
Yeah.
out to kind of see what they see. It's a
And
great
what do you
opportunity.
see over the pond? What's been seen over here on the
Well,
pond?
I'm quite new, but I think so. We get quite a lot of dragonflies in the
Yeah.
summer, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. And then again, the great tits, blue tits, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like I said, we've seen the fox around, so you're probably more likely to see it if you're hiding in the hide.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there's the hide, guys. Pretty little spot there. Right into the woodlands and see some colour explosions now. We've got purple here. What's
Periwinkle.
purple?
Yeah.
What is it?
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle.
So again, this has kind of gone a bit crazy here. I mean, it's a beautiful flower. But
There you go, guys. Periwinkle, and close up there. It is a beautiful flower. What a beautiful, vibrant colour it is as well.
another aspect of our pond, it's from a different angle. And this is our lovely woodland, and as I've mentioned, it's a very small site, but it feels a lot bigger when you're walking around. The way it's all set out, it's quite winding. You know, it makes it feel a lot bigger than it is. And a great example is this path that we're about to follow now. So it takes us through our mini woodland. It kind of winds all the way around. It takes you on a nice slow walk.
Lovely.
More bluebells.
I think these are starting to cross with the Spanish ones. They're all,
Hybrids.
yeah, I think they're all hybrid ones. And there's a white one as well, which is definitely a Spanish
Yeah.
one.
So white bluebell is a Spanish version, yeah.
So
And
we've got
then
some
some hybrid ones here.
garlic mustard here as well, which is another great plant for the orange tip butterfly. They like to lay their eggs on there. So it's, when you see this plant, it's always a good idea to have a little look, see if you can see any eggs.
Eggs.
So the eggs are like bright orange. They're quite easy to spot.
And if you're feeling hungry, you can have a little nibble,
That's
can't you,
it,
as well?
edible. Some more over here. Really great native plant. Here we've got some wild garlic.
Yeah, so the garlic come through there. And that can
Yeah,
take over the
ladybird.
space as well, can't it? So
Yeah, that's
what's
it.
there?
Ladybird.
A ladybird definitely. Let's zoom in. Resting away there.
Again, like wild garlic, it's a really well-known woodland plant, so it kind of adds to the whole feel of this being our little woodland spot. So, Primrose. And I think we've got, don't quote me on this, but I think that's pignut, which is in the carrot family.
This one here,
Yeah, it's got quite
that one.
interesting leaves.
this little
Yeah.
ferny, that one,
Yeah, that's it. Pretty sure.
So much knowledge here, and those who probably know the site and these things better than us, you can correct us if we're wrong, because we're not experts and we're learning about these things.
So here's some like den building materials. So when we have groups along, we can kind of teach them how to build a den. It's great fun. I mean, I did it a couple of weeks ago as part of my training. Great fun activity, gets you, build your confidence.
Well, all the kids love a bit of den building, so
Yeah.
at the Moseley Bog you can see that the dens that they've built there, so
Yeah.
wonderful examples of them over at that site. It's great how the windy path, like you mentioned, is
Yeah.
cutting through the woodlands, and it's helping us notice everything around, so I can see in every direction. You can smell the garlic and the other things that you can distinct smells coming through, and the sounds as well. So
And
as
it's
you're
quite
walking
nice
through,
how you're walking through here. It's quite dark because obviously we've got quite a bit of leaf cover at the top, as you would in a woodland. And then you walk further through and it all opens up, and you've got nice bright sun. It's nice contrast as
Yeah.
you're walking through.
absolutely.
Some white campion.
Campion here, white campion. Oh, good little spot there. Everyone loves an evening around the fire pit. So what we got here, look at this, guys. Wow.
Decent area for groups. Light a fire. Have a nice little talk around the fire.
Storytelling.
That's it. Yeah.
Bringing people together around a fire with a good old story, Marcus. And I'm sure you've told a lot of stories as well.
I have, yeah.
Marcus is a good storyteller, and so is Mark. Mark's here, so if you're watching, Mark, this is a great spot for you. I think we could do something here, invite the Active Wellbeing Society around and have a fire and have some storytelling as well. Great place. There we go. We're leaving the fire pit behind us now and carrying on round. Polytunnel ahead. What's this space here?
So this is our polytunnel, which is kind of where we're storing everything at the moment. I haven't mentioned about the classroom that's going to be coming, but when we get there I'll talk about that. And here we have these raised beds, and this is all part of our project that we're running, growing local flora. So we're kind of propagating native woodland plants, giving them the best head start to grow, and then we will be transplanting them in woodlands on our sites around Birmingham. So it's really like, say if we have a woodland that's quite young, we can give it a great head start by planting some of these established woodland plants. So it's another great thing that we're doing, and I think Manchester kind of is at the forefront of running that. So I'll just show you. These all need to be sorted. So we've got we'll be encouraging volunteers who have a passion for doing things with plants. We'll be encouraging them to help us sort out this, to get it up and running. Over in this bed here we've got a lot of primrose.
Primrose, yeah.
So you can see under there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we also have a project that we're working alongside the community called the Mother Gardens project, and we are encouraging people to grow and share what they grow and pass it on almost in a way.
Yeah.
And Marcus, you know a bit more about that maybe?
Yeah, well, it's a network of community gardens across the whole of Birmingham and beyond. I think there's some other gardens involved in Solihull and other areas. And yes, it's about sharing practice, experience, as well as actually sharing plants across community gardens and supporting each other to well, there's links with the food banks as well, obviously, for feeding people. So there's all sorts of benefits to the Mother Garden Network to support community groups across Birmingham and Solihull and the other areas they're probably in.
You can just see Neil's got a school group behind there, so they're having an education session there.
That's it. That's the Prince's Trust group.
Prince's Trust, yeah.
They'll be doing a tool use course for the week, and then they'll walk away with that, with a qualification that they can safely use tools, which is a great head start for them.
I think it's great what you're doing. So yeah, if you missed that, the Prince's Trust, yeah, come and find out about what they're doing here as well.
So I didn't mention earlier, but on the by the meadow that we was at earlier, we've got some beds, and we'll be using them to grow like vegetables and that kind of thing. And it's kind of equipping the community to learn how to grow their own veg, which is again a great skill. So we can go and have a look.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing much happening at the moment, but
Yeah, so we're working closely with sites like Omnium Medical Centre, and across there's the Borsley allotments. So people are using the beds there to grow, and you've got a spot here to grow vegetables as well.
That's definitely something that we're really interested in, kind of getting up and running, because it's a great skill for people to feel confident that they can grow their own food.
So maybe our holistic intervention team, our social prescribers, can get involved with that from Omnia and come. And if they've got experience already at the allotments, they can come and offer their expertise and help here as well.
So here we have our green woodworking area.
Yes.
So I think I mentioned this earlier, but our goal is to kind of get groups over here to kind of get involved in woodworking, which is a brilliant skill to have. You know, a real historic kind of skill, and we do things like this, the city fence. We kind of use the materials to make rustic fencing. So this is chestnut, which is really good wood to use. It's easy to split. So yeah, and this is the kind of fencing that we're using for our nature-friendly schools. So we're creating this fencing and taking it to schools for them to have in their areas. So.
Oh, great.
Marcus, you work with woodcraft folk, so
yes.
Is this something that
It is something that's
you're passionate about, and
Well, any outdoor activities. We do a whole range of camping and other things. Span the world with friendship is our sort of motto. So, but certainly, whittling. We encourage people to be able to make things more generally from wood, and other things that they find in outdoors, and campfires. We have a lot of campfires as well. It's great fun.
They're just great activities, kind of taking it back. The kids these days don't spend as much time outdoors, but giving them opportunity here in like a kind of comfortable environment. I mean, we will have a proper building that will go here, and the woodworking area will go up there. So we're still keeping it. It's just going to be moved, but we're going to have like a proper classroom. We've got toilet facilities. So for some people that aren't used to being out in nature, being in a woodland or a meadow can be quite daunting to them. But we have kind of the comforts here that kind of give them that step to take their first step in nature. And these activities, they're just great for kids to get involved in, because it opens up a whole new world for them of getting involved.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to take you down here to show you the beds.
Okay. Just be mindful. There is a group behind, so
In fact, I'll just talk more about the classroom that's going to be here. Over there, there's the beds that I talked about that we're trying to get up and running for vegetables and that kind of thing.
I was wondering about the composting over there as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
there's a lot of interest in making your own compost for community gardens.
Definitely, and this was all overgrown. A couple of weeks ago, the composting area was quite neglected. So our Prince's Trust group that we've had in all week, they've worked really hard to kind of reinstate this compost bed, and it's looking great.
Fabulous. Well done to all those that have done that. And there's some information about composting. Okay, so we are going to be coming back to the start point, and we're about to finish the video now as we're coming to the end of the time, but here's some information so you can have a read, pause the video and have a read of the board about composting. Hello. And then we'll carry on towards where we started. So full circle. What is this, Anisha?
So I believe this isn't a native. I did ask this. It's a kind of spurge, which again it's possibly out of a garden escape.
Lovely shape there.
But it's a nice plant to have. It's quite unusual.
Quite topical, because for me it looks like the a symbol of what's been going around, isn't it? The corona.
I'm not going to see anything else now.
Oh, let's get that out of the mind. We don't want to remind us of
There's
that.
a wild pea there, which is a really good compost plant actually, because it's part of the pea family. You can use it as a green compost. Lovely flowers. Vetch, yeah.
That one's got like a little flower on it. Very pretty flower.
Oh, there, yeah. Yes, very pretty flower there.
So, as I said, we've always got different things popping up here, and it's quite exciting. See what we'll find next.
Oh, look at this wood carving here. Oh, an entrance.
It's a nice.
The green man to welcome you. That must have taken a while.
Yeah.
That's a lot of skill there. That's fantastic. And then on this side as well, welcoming you to the woodcraft area here. Beautiful.
As I said, the Princess Trust cleared out this whole area for us last week, and also if you see behind that green building, there's a nice clear area that was all overgrown, and then we've got them to successfully use tools to kind of clear that out. So again, looking at the work that they've done, that's a great confidence boosting thing for them to say that they've done. So.
Yeah. So we've come back full circle, and I've recorded this little walk, and I can share it in the links later and map it all out for you. And then we're just going to finish off now because it's time to end the video. But I'd like to ask Anisha to just tell us about how people can get in contact with the Birmingham Black Country Wildlife Trust and how to arrange visits to the site, and if you know where to signpost people. And then just behind is Francesca, who we can grab for 2 minutes, and she'll say her piece as well about what she does.
So if you head over to the Wildlife Trust website, the Birmingham Black Country, we have our own EcoPark page, which you can have a look at, and it has all our contact details on there. So if you do want to come and have a visit, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you book in advance, because as you see, we're behind a school, so we've got all the security in place and that kind of thing.
So it's a closed site, guys, those watching. It's not open. You do need to book your visit, and especially with the coronavirus now, it's really important that if you're interested, you get in touch. You know, we can share the link to the website here in the comments later as well, and do get in touch with the Birmingham and the Black Country Wildlife Trust and the amazing work they're doing here.
I think through the website as well, you can sign up to the mailing list, so you'll get updates on what we're doing here, volunteering opportunities and that kind of thing, so it kind of keeps you updated, which is a really good idea if you're interested in getting involved.
Brilliant. So, thank you again, Anisha. Thanks for your
You're
time
welcome.
today. Really appreciate it, and lovely to
pleasure.
partner up with you again. With your work hat on this time. That's fantastic. Marcus, thank you again. And Marcus, you've got another walk planned for us next week. Where are we at?
We're going to Castle Vale, so that'll be an interesting one. There's an allotment and also a meadow actually, which will be very interesting to walk, and a nature reserve. All part of a Community Environment Trust will be showing us around there. Shannon, looking forward to that very much. And thank you all ever so much. People, I'm not sure who's been there today.
There's quite a few that have stayed on, so thank you the guys that have stayed on and watched. Pablo especially, who's put lots of comments in here, and we'll read them later. Thank you to the Birmingham Black Country Wildlife Trust for answering the questions as well, and everyone else that's commented, and everyone that's going to watch this video later as well on demand. So it's not just the live, it's also afterwards. Take your time and enjoy the video and share it on. And it's time for me to end and say bye-bye, so let's go back to me, and we'll do a socially distanced bye-bye from us here from the Birmingham the EcoPark here at Small Heath. Hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you next week for another sensory walk. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.